want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Everybody's thanking me, but this is really something that's just dear to my heart. And it's not hard for me to do, and it's not hard to open the mansion. And it's like I like to tell the kids that visit, it's not my house, it's your house if you pay taxes in Alabama. So welcome to your house. And I'm glad to open it for this event. I think we had just either been elected or we were on the campaign trail, and somebody invited me to my first art gallery at Shelton State in Tuscaloosa. And I was just amazed. I thought, to see the kids and have professional pictures and read their stories, it just grabbed your heart. And I just went home and said, we got to take them all. And my husband said, I don't think we can take them all right now. But it meant so much to me, and I said, this is a program that I can easily support. And the reason for that is because we have two adopted children. And so the adoption is just close to my heart. And I know when that little person comes into your family, your heart just goes out and loves them, and it doesn't matter the source, and you just take them in. And so it's not something to be thankful for, because it's my pleasure, and it's something that I enjoy supporting and enjoy doing. So I'm glad that all of you are here tonight to help support it. And I hope we can get the word out that foster children are up for adoption. I'm proud of Alabama's record. Sometimes Alabama's #1 in things that you're not too proud of, but for our adoption success for foster children, we are up there, and I'm very proud of that. Another art gallery I went to, they keep me informed, was in Tuscaloosa, and I was very proud to see there and hear the family there. And so then I said, we can have one here, but we really found out it's not good to have one in the mansion, because we want it up for the whole month and people to come in and out. So this will be on display down at the Capitol, and I already have friends that I'm bugging to please go down there and walk through and see the pictures. So while tonight, I hope it draws attention, and I hope we can use the media to foster this interest and get people that are not here that might be interested, that will go to the exhibit at the Capitol, or either go online and look at these beautiful children.
I am here tonight, very blessed here tonight, to tell you about our journey to our forever family. But before I get into that, I would like to share a poem that we found during this process that really speaks to ways that a family can come together. When God makes parents, He places a special hole in their hearts, one place for each child He wants to send. Sometimes that child grows out of love, safe and warm under his mother's heart, until he is ready to meet the world. But sometimes God sees two people with holy hearts and empty arms, and says, hey, let's make a family. So the angels spread out, searching high and low, east and west, for just the right children. Then tenderly, carefully, they guide them home. These children have two real mothers. One carried them in her body. One carried them and carries them in her heart. They have two real fathers, too. One gave them life, and one teaches them how to live. My dear child, since the day your angels led you to us, we have waited and waited to call you our own. Now our hearts are full, and our arms are too. On December 22nd, 2011, our family grew by 100%. We had a marvelous Christmas. Our story, however, begins much earlier, at the Christmas of 2009. My husband and I, after a few years of trying unsuccessfully to get pregnant, started discussing and praying about adoption. Now, adoption had always been an option for us. This is something that we decided on even before we got married. We talked with a few people about adopting and asked them to pray for us as we were exploring the possibility. We realized that it was a definite time to pursue adoption when, while both on our individual laptops watching TV during my Christmas break, I'm a school teacher, we were looking at the same children on the same website, adoptuskids.org. In January of 2010, we contacted DHR to start the GPS program, Group Preparation and Selection, and I know you will hear more about that. But this class prepares potential foster and adoptive parents on what to expect and how to deal with situations that will inevitably arise as a result of the family history of children being adopted. We have learned so much about ourselves through this process and how we would handle situations that arise with kids that we think that every parent should take this class, even those with only their biological children. But we wanted to adopt, not foster, and although we were not ruling out being foster parents at maybe a later time. So we were blessed to take GPS through APAC, Alabama Pre- and Post-Adoption Consultants. Their support and resources available to anyone adopting a child through DHR has been invaluable. As part of the 10-week, 30-hour class and completing our home study, we had to complete a child desired form. We felt a strong leading to adopt older children, those who, at times seemed like they're less likely to be adopted. We also knew that we wanted a sibling group, preferably brothers, of mid to upper elementary age with whom we could make a forever family. With the class finished and our home study completed in the August of 2010, we started what is always the longest section in the process of adoption, waiting and waiting. But thankfully, someone told us about Heart Gallery, Alabama, told us about the website. So we inquired about a few sibling groups, but none of them were matches. So we waited some more, meaning we were not matches for them. In May of 2011, we received news that we had been matched, this is through DHR, with a sibling group, 2 brothers on the upper end of our desired age range, but DHR, like I said, thought we might be matched. We met with DHR about them and then agreed to meet them. After spending some time with the brothers, we realized that while we may have been a match for them, they weren't really a match for us. And that was a really difficult decision, because even in the short time getting to know these boys, we just really cared about them, and we hope and still hope the best and pray for the best for them. Now, we knew it could be months, even years before we got matched again, and we would go back and forth with our decision, but in the end we knew it was the right one. We knew that we were not meant for each other, and we had a restful confidence in the Lord that we were making the right decision. Well, we turned to Heart Gallery of Alabama again. We had seen 2 boys on the site, brothers, upper elementary age, cute as can be, before we had been matched with these 2 older boys, and the video of the 2 uploaded to the site really sealed it. We inquired about them via the website, and again waited and prayed. Well, God is so good. We met them for a day visit, July 13th, 2010, and we fell in 2011, I'm sorry, wrong date, and we fell in love with them. After the first weekend visit with us, that July 15th, we sadly had to bring them back to their foster home. And we called our social worker and asked, when can we have our sons? They spent the next 2 weekends with us, and the days waiting for them to come again couldn't go by fast enough. Then on July 28th, Zach and Sean moved in for good. A strong confirmation of how well we fit together as a family was that when the boys got to the house that day, they just let themselves in through the garage like they had always been there. And we cannot imagine a house now without the sound of yelling and screaming, all in a good way, of course. There are some adjustments that we have had to make, and that they have had to make, and that we have had to make, and will continue to have to make, but they're all definitely worth it. We cannot imagine life without them. I think the best indication that Zach and Sean were meant for us came when Sean was talking with Mike one day and said, I think we were always your kids. God just put us in the wrong tummy. And we have so much in common with our boys, and the similarities just keep showing up. And we get comments, even tonight, all the time about how much they look like us. And Zach, at another time, independent of Sean, has said, it's funny how everyone says we look and act like we belong to each other. It's like you were always our parents, and we just couldn't live with you until now. We feel, even more strongly today, that it's so important to spread the word about adopting children from foster care, even if it means being a foster family for a while. There is such a need for good, safe, caring homes for so many children. You heard the statistics. All it takes is a willing heart. Children in foster care have gone through things that no one should ever have to. Abuse, neglect, feeling worthless and unloved. I cannot imagine and will never know everything that my boys have felt, but I know now that they are safe and that they are very loved. DHR and APAC trained us for our sons. We are so thankful. Heart Gallery introduced us to our sons, and we are so grateful. And God has made us for each other, and we are so blessed. I now have 2 birth certificates with my name listed as mother for 2 boys to whom I did not give birth, but whom I love with all my heart. On a side note, our church has started an orphan care ministry, and I know there are many churches in the United States and in Alabama doing the same thing, and it's called Children's Hope. We had a service to kick off the ministry, and they asked me to sing, because it was well known at that time that we were trying to adopt. I chose a song by Stephen Curtis Chapman, a Christian singer who has adopted children and promotes adoption. It is set as a letter to Santa from a child hoping to be adopted, and it's called All I Really Want for Christmas, and I want to share an excerpt with you. All I really want for Christmas is someone to tuck me in, a shoulder to cry on if I lose, shoulders to ride on if I win. There's so much that I could ask for, but there's just one thing I need. All I really want for Christmas is someone who'll be here to sing me happy birthday for the next 100 years. And it's okay if they're not perfect, or even if they're a little broken. That's alright, 'cause so am I. All I really want for Christmas is someone to tuck me in, to tell me I'll never be alone, someone whose love will never end. There's so much that I could ask for, but there's just one thing I need. All I really want for Christmas is a family. Well, I sang that in church in September of 2010, and for Christmas of 2011, we got it.